biological system. And we got what, sir? Glomalin. This is a product that comes out of mycorrhizal fungus. That's the super glue that kind of holds this system together. So we got our micro aggregate, okay? We got our soil particles. Tom, I know, man, I'm pretty impressed with Tom. The biggest soil particle is sand. What's the next soil particle that's smaller size? Silt. Now under the microscope, and I've correctly portrayed this, clay are in sheets, like little sheets of paper here, okay? So we've got sand, silt, and clay that's coming together. Now, we've got a perfect representation of mycorrhizal fungus here. This is a system that's starting to come together. Now, what we need is a living root and some microbes that are putting polysaccharides. So, gentlemen, when you spray your product, keep the can kind of up or you'll blow all the air out of it. So, here's our biological system. Okay, coat my microaggregate here with our biological products. Okay, give me a dose there. Good dose. Walk around a little bit. There you go. Now, people, this is what's happening in a biological system. This aggregate is getting put together, and this is what makes it stable. This is a biological living system. That's a very important thing to realize. Now, can we destroy an aggregate? Can we? Yeah, we can. A raindrop if unprotected, will destroy an aggregate. Wind erosion through saltation will blast that soil particle together. What's another? Somebody in the back here, next to Tom. What's another thing that will destroy this soil aggregate? Compaction, tillage. Okay, man, here's my offset disc, man. In Idaho, we got some awesome power out there. I'm calling them total soil destruction implements. Disc ripper is really common now. You know, pulled by a 200 horsepower tractor. Here comes the first offset disc, right? Now, when we open up this system, and in Idaho, we have a tough time with wind erosion. Now we have a silt particle that's alone. He's lonely. He's vulnerable to what? Erosion forces, right?
He's going to Utah.
He's going to Utah, man. See, you guys in the back, you won't be able to see this, so you'll have to talk. Watch this. Wind erosion, sheet and water erosion. Now, here's the terrible thing that happens. We've started breaking down our microaggregate into little chunks. Now, the copatrophic bacteria, or rapid strategists, or R strategists, that's kind of the name of these bacteria. It's like teenagers when you feed them pizza. Just woof. They love this active carbon, this easy-to-eat carbon. But when it's in a nice, tight aggregate, it's kind of protected. But when you add oxygen into this environment, the copatrophic bacteria just go crazy. And they consume luxury amounts of carbon, the precious carbon sources that's holding our aggregate together. What we're trying to do in soil health, the big principle, is we're trying to manage the pore space. This is where life is occurring, the pore space. This is where the microbes are living and swimming. It's where nutrient exchange is happening. So the pore space is there. What happened to my little mycorrhizal fungus? It used to be this long. Now my offset disc just come and what? Cut him in half. Is this good habitat for microbes? No, it's not, man. It's not. Now, what if we come back after our disc ripper and hit it with a brilliant compactor?
Good thing they're cheap.
Good thing they're... Shoot. We have completely destroyed our aggregate. This is what's going on with unconventional tillage, people. We're completely destroying the habitat of these microorganisms. Do we got any wildlife lovers in here? Wildlife biologists? Right there, man. See, these people, they love habitat, don't they? They go crazy about mule deer habitat and sage grouse habitat. But me and Albert, man, we got to start boning up here. We got to start learning about our our microbiology habitat, because there's a good example of how to destroy it. We would, God forbid, we would not do that to sage-grouse habitat. Or what's happening to the sage-grouse if you destroy their habitat? Gone. You know what happens when you destroy habitat for the microbiology world? Only certain species can survive in it. I'm telling you, when you take some biology samples of your soil in unconventionally tilled systems, you find very little mycorrhizal fungus because they cannot handle tillage. Awesome. Okay, I'm bored of this. Let's go to the next section. Who's going to clean up this mess? I'm the presenter.